Hello YouTube, welcome to Lifestyle Aesthetics where we teach you how to level up consistently over time. So today in the gym, we are going to do a full body workout session. For those of us that's busy, it can only work out twice a week just like me. Sometimes it's a pain having to come home and then change to go back to the gym in the late afternoon when it's always packed. So today we are starting off with chest flies. So you can see keeping my arms straight and I'm trying to control the reps as I go back and doing supersets where I start off with a heavy weight and then drop off immediately after that first heavy set. So for those of us that are interested in cutting back on some body fat, trying to get that lean aesthetic look, I always work out fasted, meaning I do not eat for the first 5 hours since I wake up. All I really consume is just water. And then afterwards, I would eat a heavy meal, whether it's like a sort of sandwich or my breakfast, a good heavy meal with high in protein. So after we do the chest flies, I'm doing a pronated grip, lat pull down, good for the biceps, forearms, and upper back. I'm doing it. I used to do this full stack, but I'm interested more now in trying to control the reps, trying to make sure that my form is perfect. As you could see, I'm not leaning as back anymore. My back is mostly straight, leaning at a 30-degree to 20-degree angle. If you lean back to 45 degrees, you're kind of cheating. You're using most of your back to do the heavy lift. So you want to make sure that you're somewhat straight, upright position, or at least leaning back 20 degrees, 30 degrees as you do these lat pull downs. So back day usually my favorite. For my genetics, back and chest is what pops out the most. So I'm not doing too much of back and chest. In this workout, I'm doing at least 2 chest and 2 back exercises. So after my lat pull down, I'm doing a bicep curl. So today's workout is basically just pure machines, no free weights. Because, a beginner who doesn't know what they're doing, they can be safe with these machines. You're not going to hurt yourself. You're basically forced to do this in a perfect motion. So I am leaning towards the bench and then having my armpit close to the bench itself so that way I get the full range of motion. And when I do these bicep curls in a machine, my palms are close towards the middle. That way I get that full stretch and it's easier on my wrist, easier on my elbows. Remember, you don't want to hurt yourself when you're doing these workouts. Trying to do a perfect form so that way you are getting a lot of bang for your buck. So doing a lot of isolation movements. Because I've realized that my back and my chest have dominated my body, my physique. I'm trying to make sure working out these areas of weakness, trying to work a little bit more on my arms, so that way they pop up a little bit more. So doing these nice and slow until failure, and I'm always doing drop sets with these, starting a heavyweight then a lighter weight. Tricep push down is like one of my favorite exercises to do on these type of machines because you actually feel it without having to worry about doing too much weight as long as your form is perfect. So again, when you do these type of arm workouts, you want to make sure that your armpit is kind of touching the bench itself so that way your arms are fully forward to get that full range of motion. So these tricep extension machines is good for the triceps. Trying to make sure you hit that last rep as best as you can. Trying to do them controlled, making sure they're not just pushing the weight in a very rapid movement. Trying to make sure doing it nice and slow. That way you're able to work out the tricep completely until failure. Then you rest. So when I do these workouts, I rest 2 minutes in between. I'm not trying to rush my workouts. Like, yes, I did say I was busy, but you want to make sure that the rest in between is 2 to 3 minutes, because you want to make sure that you are not fatiguing too quickly. When you fatigue too quickly, your muscles uh they're still tired. They need more rest. So you need to make sure that you are taking your time with this with the rest, so that way you still have the same amount of effort. And again, you're only doing 2 sets of drop sets because you're doing full body, and you're also on a tight schedule. So yeah, with these tricep movements, it's gonna make your arm pop out more. And then after that, I'm starting playing around with these shoulder press machines. This type of machine where you have to load up with the plate, for me, it feels a little bit better compared to the ones where you have the ones where you stack the weight with the pin. This for me is more comfortable. It feels more natural. The Smith machine in this gym is always busy, so I'm never able to do a Smith machine shoulder press. So this is the next best thing that you would have available if your gym is always busy and you have these type of shoulder press machines. So something that I've learned is that as you push the weight up, not only are you working on the front deltoids, but you're also activating the side deltoid, the side shoulder, to help your shoulders become more wide when you're looking at the front. Initially, shoulder press would work mainly on the forward part of the shoulder, the front head, but this also works out the lateral shoulders as well. So I'm only doing 5 reps on that 2 sets of basically 180 pounds, because it's 45 and 45, so that's 90 on each side. So after the shoulder press, I am doing a neutral grip row, where again, I'm not focused on putting too much weight, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm able to do 8 to 10 clean reps until failure. And with this type of movement, you're working on the lats, the middle part of the back, biceps, and forearms. So drop sets of these. First, start with a heavy weight, and then you're going to change the weight to a lighter weight. So that way you're able to feel that full contraction, more range of motion with the lighter weight, and just working until failure. You're not going to reach a perfect 10 after the heavy set, but a good 5 to 8 reps after the heavy set is good enough. And you just keep doing these until you just cannot pull the weight anymore. And as you see, I'm just going slow each time, trying to keep it controlled, um, until I just can't. And this is gonna help your back grow a lot. And then after that, definitely doing some lateral raises with the machine. Trying to go up, hold it for 2 seconds, and slowly go back down. I'm doing this on a lighter weight because again, you want to make sure you control the weight as you go up and as you go down. Trying to go nice and slow, so that way you're not doing it crazy, doing it super fast, because you want to make sure that you feel the soreness. You're actually working out the shoulders correctly, making sure they pop out. I've been told that I have a V taper. My shoulders are a little bit wider than my waist, but trying to keep myself humble here in the sense that I'm not going to brag about it. I'm just telling what other people told me. Spamming these lateral raises every so often is good to make sure you have that wide shoulder to smaller waist ratio. And again, I'm doing 2 sets of drop sets, starting off with the 70 pounds and then lowering it to 50 pounds to make sure I'm able to lift it up correctly all the way up 90 degrees, and then slowly reaching it back down, because you want to make sure that your shoulders are, being correctly worked out. And then for the legs, I'm doing these kickbacks where the leg that's standing is a little bit bent. And this is basically working at the hamstrings and the glutes using the ankle, I guess, ankle bracket to attach that hook onto the cable. And this feels a little bit more natural because you are basically pulling back as you feel the weight slowly come up and then return. in a slow pace. Again, you're not trying to rush these, you're trying to take your time, making sure these are nice and controlled. Um, Basically, you want to make sure that you're kicking parallel to the floor as high as you can, starting off with the 30 pounds, and then I would lower it to 20 pounds. I don't really do these as much, but they are really good for the hamstrings and glutes, mainly the glutes, to make sure that they pop out a little bit more. Lighter weight is okay. 10 to 12 reps is okay if you're doing it with the lighter weight. Heavier weight, obviously, you're going to be doing less. 8 reps as perfect as you can, making sure that kicking back correctly. So with this exercise, I like to move back a little bit to make sure that I get a better range of motion, and so that the ball does not hit the machine itself. But that way I'm able to do these nice and smooth and more natural, not having to worry about messing up the machine or destroying the ball as I do these kickbacks. Then another set over here, trying to make sure I'm doing these correctly. The front leg should be bent, and then the leg that you're kicking with should also be bent. I'm tilting the ankle a little bit more outward as I kick back to make sure that my glutes and my hamstrings are getting activated as well. Um, Essentially, you do not want to skip out on the posterior chain, so the muscles that's on the back side of your body, trying to make sure that that part is just as balanced as the front part. And then with this one, I'm trying to basically close my legs together, hold it, and then squeeze and then release slowly. This is working out the inner thighs. So this is a good combo after doing the kickbacks. Also, another good combo if you do extension and then do this type of machine, and then the other one where your legs are spreading out the opposite way. So that way you're getting the full thigh workout. So trying to do these with a lower weight. You don't really need to go as heavy. Um, I made the mistake of doing this full stack, which is great, but you want to make sure that you do a lot of good reps with this with a controlled weight, so that way you are actually feeling sore and feeling that inner thigh getting worked out properly. And that's basically it, guys. So that's the full body workout. 2 of each body part: 2 legs, 2 chest, 2 back, 2 shoulders, bicep, triceps. That's all really you need as a beginner and as someone who's busy. So like and subscribe. The link is down below if you want to follow my Instagram and TikTok. Leave a comment if you guys are a fan of full body workouts or if you like to do the push pull split. All right, thank you, and I will catch you in the next video.